I've been thinking, this is Gilgamesh, I've been thinking about something for a while. I mentioned this on Do This, and I said, the person who created BRICS was Peter Thiel and Palantir. That's who runs your country, not BlackRock. They all serve Blinken, all these people, Biden, all of them, they get talking point. They get little scripts from Palantir. They write them out and they go out there and they tell you what they want them to say. When I said Peter Thiel created BRICS, in a way, by ordering the sanctions on Russia, China, all this stuff, he was, and what does he do? He depressed America and its economy. But, now you got de-dollarization. Now, my fear is what he might do next year just to destroy China and Russia and every economy out there. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about this, but this is Peter Thiel we're talking about. Palantir, he orchestrated the COVID 2 years before it happened. Oh yes, by the way, I shaved my head. What I fear is he has something really messed up. Because if you want to know how you can take down every economy in the world, except for America, you really want to make America's currency, the only the currency at the top again, all you have to do is do one thing. Cause gold to crash. There you go. And I fear he's going to do something. He's that twisted to do it. I think he might actually pull off. Because right now people are going, BRICS, de-dollarization, all this stuff's happening. And they're all Putin and NG they're being arrogant. They're not even realizing how easy it is to destroy them. You don't even have to have a war with them. You can economically destroy them because they both have really bought up gold. Plus their currencies are tied to it. If you crash gold, cause the price to literally nosedive, which has happened. America's the only country that doesn't have their currency on the dollar, on gold. I've always wondered why that was. Why did Nixon take it? Because it may have been part of a bigger plan. He gets, and what happens? All these companies leave America. America's falling apart. He's caused all these things to happen, like train derailments, school shootings, all this stuff you see. He's the one telling Israel to go ahead and do these things. Why? Because Peter Thiel doesn't give two shits about Israel. He doesn't. He doesn't care about Ukraine. He wants war with Iran. And I wondered about that. I said, why? Well, think about it. Iran's the one country right now they can't control. They literally can, if they can take Iran down, they can complete the control of the Arab world and take it away from Russia. Well, if he crashes the gold, that causes every other economy to crash. You create a global recession at a level you haven't seen in ever. Because right now gold's so high, it's worth so much money that every one of these countries, China and Russia, have been buying it up while they're talking about getting rid of the dollar. So, that's a possibility of what could happen. You've seen all these other things, like climate change. Here's a funny thing about climate change. NASA, go back to 2016 on, they have not had to change this data. They go look it up. I've looked it up. Jimmy Dore talked about it. NASA puts out that we are way greener than we've ever been thanks to CO2. So the climate change error, where did that come from? People like Peter Thiel. Rich people. All these rich people, Oprah Winfrey, Obama, stop buying into the bullshit that we're actually having a negative effect on the climate. It's all BS. It's all where do you think World Economic Forum gets all their shit from? Palantir, BlackRock, all this stuff comes from them. They orchestrate all this stuff. COVID, 2 years, did not come out of the Wuhan lab. That was done to make everyone think it was China. It came out of all of our bioweapons bioweapon labs we have around the world, including Fort Detrick in Maryland. I've said this before. People are asleep. You are still asleep. You still don't get it. You have no say in your election. The Electoral College is controlled by Palantir. 2020, I'm going to say it again. After Mike Pence refused to decertify the election, which would have given the power to the states, means the states would have picked the electorate to vote. That, and they get one vote, and that would have determined the election. Not guaranteeing Trump, but if you look at 2020, they fucked it up so bad, nobody can legitimately say that election, that anything happened. But Palantir now controls because what did Congress do? Congress took out, literally, and I've said this in another video, about the states don't have the electoral college because it no longer is in the power. The states have no power anymore to decide the election. I've said this. Peter Thiel will put Trump back in. And I know people are going to go, oh, this, and Jimmy Dore has pointed this out. Yes, the electoral college is the only thing you need to put the president. It's controlled by Palantir. The states have no say in the election. People that were not paying attention that hard in 2020. Digital currency and all these, oh my God, you guys still believe Trump, they tried to kill Trump. This is what everybody is still asleep on. There was no real attempt on Trump's life. Take the blinders off. Stop believing Operation Mockingbird. You're still falling for this shit. This is how dumb Americans are. Nick Cruz is right. Americans are really, really stupid. You're easy to manipulate. God, Jill Stein's not the person you think she is. She literally came out and said Israel did many things, but they call it. She went after Cynthia, I forget her last name, and she attacked her and said, oh, Cynthia says Israel did 9/11. Israel's done a lot of things, but they haven't done 9/11. That is horseshit on all fucking levels. You still got Ray McGovern and Larry Jones is still pushing the lie that a bunch of Arabs who were fucking set, Al-Qaeda was created by America. Why would they attack us? See, wake up, people. It's still, we're being lied to. Israel did 9/11 so they get rid of Saddam Hussein. Iran didn't help because they weren't allies. Iran didn't step in, but they knew, just like Saudi Arabia, they stayed out of it. Now what's happened? They're targeting Iran. Because if you can get rid of then you can control the Arab world. And guess what happens? They can push them away from Russia. Israel does not matter anything to Peter Thiel. It doesn't. It exists for one thing, to destroy Iran. They're waiting. But they're not attacking. They promise they're going to attack. Yeah. They're figuring the best way to do this. See, Peter Thiel's actually surprised by Iran. It's one of those times when he looks and sees Iran's not falling for it. How did we get this? We don't have to destroy their oil or their nuclear. Just bomb the city. Just bomb Tehran. Kill the civilians and you will force the hand. Yeah. It doesn't matter if Israel gets destroyed. Peter and Trump don't care about Israel. He doesn't. It's all bullshit. He wants to be liked, and he's doing what he's told to do. Go out there and praise Bibi, yay! But the truth is, deep down, Trump don't give two shits about Israel. He thinks he needs them. He's told this. You need the AIPAC. You need the Israelis. Whatever. I get told I have shit takes. Tell me. Does this whole thing, orchestrated by the psychopath himself, Peter Thiel is a monster. The guy, I've said over and over, he killed Epstein because Epstein threatened to expose all the people that are clients. Hillary is alive only because she knows all the people that went to Epstein's island and had sex with underage girls and boys. That's right. So that's why she doesn't go to prison. Do you want to? Yeah, that's the real reason. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, Russia, I love how people say communist. Well, it was called the Soviet Socialist Republic. one person said, no, they weren't really communists, they were socialists. Socialism and communism are pretty much the same thing. Yeah, they're pretty much, they may not be completely, but they're pretty close to the same thing, you know. But yeah. We have people pushing the climate change narrative. God, it's so stupid. But yes, BRICS might fall apart next year. If I'm right about this, and I've thought about this for a while, and I'm watching people praising, oh, BRICS, America's going to collapse. No, actually, we're not. Everything's done by design. You have to just take the blindfold off and realize, oh, dear God. Because once you're looking at Peter Thiel's mind, it might actually make you go crazy. I don't like the fact that my brain goes up. Let's see what goes on. Oh, God, no. That's not a good thing to try to think, get into Peter Thiel's head, because it will make you go, you might lose your mind. He thinks of sick shit to do. Why? Because he gets off on fucking with people. You build up BRICS, and then you destroy it. And what does this do? This will destroy Russia and China, and BRICS will fall apart. And this is exactly what he wants to do. So he'll either do it next year or the year after, but he's going to do it. Gold's going to collapse. I hate the fact that this is most likely going to happen. And then watch America's currency be the reserve currency, and everybody wanting the dollar, and Russia and everything, they're falling away. Because then all the American companies come flooding back to America under Trump. And then Trump looks like the guy who did it. He brought jobs back to America. Only because nobody will be able to do business in China. Yeah. And then what answer? Arrogance gets you exactly what. I don't like if this is true, but I see the arrogance in China and Russia. They're arrogant. They have they're not humble. They're pride. They're boasting. It's the easiest way to fall. One thing about Peter Thiel is he doesn't brag. He doesn't boast about what he does. He does it, and he sits back and laughs his ass off. He's watching arrogance, thinking that there's nothing that can harm them. BRICS can't fall apart if I'm fucking right. Peter Thiel might just, under Palantir, manipulate gold to crash. And this would affect the world. Well, America's the only currency not on gold. Let that sink in. If I'm right, oh, God, it's horrifying. This is what goes through this fucker's mind. You know, he wants to take away your cash. He wants your digital currency, digital ID, so he can monitor everything you do and kick you off social media like they're doing now. Yes, he pretty much controls all your tech companies. You're never going to get away from this. America's not going to completely collapse. It's all been planned by him. You gotta understand how Peter Thiel loves to do this stuff. Nobody sees the big picture, but apparently I do. And I would be called a conspiracy theorist for saying this, for seeing differently. I don't see like regular people. Maybe it's because, I'm different than most. The fact that I can look into the mind of a psychopath and go, oh, this is not good. If it's true, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I think it's coming. I think the worst, if you want to create a global recession just to kick China and Russia in the ass, what do? You collapse gold. They won't come back from this for a long time. It's not because we're going to invade and take China. It's because we got to, if you want to punish people for their arrogance, what do? You punish them. You pull. You go, okay. And what happens? Israel most likely won't be here. The way it's going, it's not going to survive. It's wars. And Thiel doesn't care. He doesn't care. As long as he gets what he wants. And right now my fear is he's going to absolutely screw things up by crashing gold. And America will survive. He plans things like this all the time. This guy sits down and he fucking Palantir, they sit down, they go, okay, how can we screw things up? We'll create COVID. We're going to create the next pandemic. We're going to show people, look, we want you to see over here, not over here. Look over here. Don't look over here. See the left hand, don't look at the right hand. You're seeing what they're telling you. They're putting Operation Mockingbird and they're going, look, they're trying to kill Trump. When in actuality, they're not. But you're falling for it. Just like BRICS. Oh my God, the dollar's collapsing. You can't see how this game is really being played. People are being manipulated. BRICS is a creation of Palantir. They orchestrate this, not Russia and China, but they don't realize they're being manipulated. People can't see it. They think BlackRock is doing things. Everything. Ukraine doesn't matter to Peter Thiel. This is what he does for fun, people. He sits around and plots these things. He wants to fuck with you. He doesn't need the money. Peter Thiel is not worried about money. Anybody sitting there going, no, he's watching you beg. Please, what does he do? He tells the government, don't get involved. Let these people suffer. Well, he says, keep sending money to Ukraine. Well, that money comes right into his pockets. It doesn't go to Biden. It doesn't go back to the government. It goes into Palantir. It funnels back to them. And they have all the money they need to do all their little fucking things. Yeah, all that money that you see that's sent to Ukraine goes right into Palantir. Doesn't go to BlackRock. Palantir basically goes, okay, they divvy out what they need to. Like, oh yeah, BlackRock, you did your job, good. Boom. They get paid. They're the ones really running your government. They're the ones who are going, okay, we're going to do this. And they go, oh shit, yeah, that's what they're doing. It's a scary notion. You can look inside the mind of a psychopath. He doesn't want Trump dead. He wants people to think they're trying to kill Trump. Wait, look at what he just did. He had Trump go to McDonald's and work, 20 minutes? And what happened? The media had a meltdown over the fact that he's trolling Harris, because it turns out McDonald's has no evidence Kamala Harris ever worked. She said, I worked at McDonald's. Then McDonald's came in and said, we have no proof she ever worked for McDonald's. This is, I think, after Trump or before Trump went to work at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania. What did Harris do? She hung out with Dick Cheney's idiot daughter. Yay. That's the thing about people. Shiva cannot run for president. He knows this. A natural born citizen. He brought this up. What does that mean? It means you have to either be born in America or your parents are American citizens and you're born in another country, you're still an American citizen. Now, I know Ted Cruz's father came from Cuba. I don't know if he became an American citizen before he went up to Canada and met Ted Cruz's mother. Now, if he did become an American citizen, technically that would mean Ted Cruz would be considered an American citizen. That's how he can. Harris is only an American citizen because she was born in America to two people who are on green cards. That, under anchor baby law, that would mean her mother technically would become an American citizen. That's how that law worked. It basically was created for the Chinese slaves we brought over here to build the railroads. Yes, and because they were having, like rabbits, having babies, they decided, not to punish the children, that they would automatically be American citizens, and so would the mothers. That's how they anchor baby law, but they didn't repeal it, so this is how Harris becomes her and her sister become American citizens. Because other countries don't have this law. It's like Glenn Jacobs, Kane. He was born on an American military base in Spain. Just like with Az of Heels versus Babyface, his father and mother were stationed in New Zealand on an British military base, and he was born there. That still means he's a British citizen. He's not a Kiwi. So, yeah. So this election is going to be, funny as hell, because it's going to go exactly like I said it would. Trump would be declared the winner. Harris would have to come out and admit she lost. And, of course, Jill Stein, everybody else, would have to also admit they lost. So, yeah. But this BRICS, right now it's going on in Russia. And they're all, China and India dealt with their border issue. Good for them. But my fear is Peter Thiel is watching all this and he's going to go, I'm going to punish them. He's already working it out. They're sitting there going, how are we going to crush China and Russia? We'll cause gold to collapse. There you go. That's why I'm buying into gold. It's the easiest way to destroy BRICS is to collapse the idea of every one of those countries' currencies. Then what happens? They come back to America and go, yes, we take your currency again. See, that's how you win this. You don't have to fight a war. You keep Russia busy, let them destroy themselves over there. You basically set Israel up, boom, boom, all these things, what? To get to Iran. Iran's frustrating you because they're not falling for it. You're waiting for the right moment so you can kill their people. See, the moment Iran does finally, if they do attack, you know what happens? They're going to bomb Tehran. I would bet they're going to bomb Tehran. And Saudi Arabia will probably, be cave and go, okay. But yeah, Turkey's not going to help stop Israel. They're still selling to them. Yeah, natural gas and oil. But Erdogan's full of shit. I don't believe the Saudis when they say, we're not going to let you use our airspace. Yeah, Iran threatened to blow up their oil fields before when they allowed Israel to use their airspace, so I don't expect anything there to change. Yeah, eventually they will strike. Whether Iran's ready or not, or can doing things stuff, that's up to them. But we will watch gold collapse if I'm right. And this is not it. I'm not saying this because I hope it happens. I fear that's what Peter Thiel's up to. Crash gold either next year or the year after. In between the 2025, I think 2026, you're going to see gold absolutely collapse, and that's when you take down China and Russia. And it'll happen when nobody's looking. When nobody's looking, suddenly the stock market will report that gold's collapsed, and it'll happen around the world, in all the markets, in Russia, every country. So it'll happen. Suddenly you have another global recession. And America's the only one that won't suffer the consequences, but that's what I fear is going to happen. So, yeah, this is Gilgamesh. I will talk to you later. Bye.